Hello, this is Savannah again, one of Tiffany's students. She's still doing okay, so we're all good. I'm going to show you how to make ceramic Mother's Day cards today. There's two different versions that I did that I'm going to show you how to do today. If you saw the rose video, the last time I was on here, we're going to be using that today. So if not, it's fine. You don't have to have seen it to do it, but just as an option, if you want to go back and watch that first and then come back, you can do that. So we're starting out with a slab. I used the slab roller that we have here at the studio. And now I'm just compressing both sides. I already compressed that side before I started. Whoops. Haha. That's fine. I already started compressing this, but just gonna do this side on screen just in case somebody didn't know what compression was. But yeah, so I'm just taking this metal rib of death and smoothing down the sides, making sure if I see any air bubbles that I just get them out with this. Now I'm going to be using this square cutter. Normally we use this for butter dishes, but I'm going to use it for making cards. So just take it, push it in, make sure it's all the way in, and then just take it right back out. And then, because I'm making two, I'm just going to cut out the second one right now so I don't have to do this again later. Saving time here. This extra clay I'm just going to take off and knead back together in a moment. So now I have two squares. Just going to make sure that that one side isn't stuck on the table. Take it, flip it over. Now I'm going to take a watered sponge, a sponge that has a bunch of water on it. And, well, it doesn't need to have a bunch of water on it, but you get the drift. Just smooth down the edges so they're not so sharp. You don't want sharp ends to your Mother's Day card. I mean, you can make a "you're looking sharp today" joke, but I don't think that's what we're wanting. So, once I have that done, I'm going to start with the card that is folded in half. Like this. It says Mom right here. And then inside is just the card itself. But it's so that your mom can just stick it in on a table, on a desk or something, and it'll stand up so you don't have to get an easel to stand it up. But yeah, just stand up like that. And then you can just decorate the inside, but you should be able to just read it like that and then set it down. But yeah, so this is the first one that I'm going to show you how to do the first part of. So I will move this one over here because I'm not using it at the moment. So once you have enough squares for your cards, you're just gonna put this to the side. You don't need it anymore. This one. So what I did is I took a cookie cutter rolling pin that has designs in it. I'm using this rose one because I just think it would go along with what I'm looking for. And then just roll it on the back. And you'll have the design on the back. Hopefully you can see that. It's kind of dark when I'm looking at it. But yeah, and then you're just gonna gently curve it and then stand it up. You don't want to push too hard, otherwise you're going to risk getting rid of the detail in the back. So what I should have done is I should have put the rolling pin pattern on first and then cut out the square. I forgot that part. But yeah, so put down the pattern first and then cut the square. It's just easier. And then I'm just going to move this to the side and let it stiffen up. You want it to be like leather hard before you do like the letters, because you want it to be able to hold its shape while you're putting letters in it. So while that's drying, we're going to work on this one. Now this is the one that I did a rose on. So here's the rose. I put in some stamps, and then I wrote my message. You can put leaves on here. I just didn't do it for this one because by the time I remembered, hey, maybe you should put a leaf on that, I had already written my message. So there wasn't really room to put a leaf on there. But yeah, that's the one that I made. I'm going to show you how to do it here. This one you'll need an easel for it, or you can stick something in the back to hold it up, or you can make your own little clay post in the back and have it just stand up by itself. Okay, so that extra clay that you took off, just wedge it, or a rose, depending on what you're wanting to use it for. Many roses, one rose, I don't care. So you're just going to take it, form the petals, and then you can stick this anywhere. I just stuck it in the corner because that's where I thought it looked best. So yeah, you can stick it wherever you want to stick it. It doesn't have to look one specific way. You know, this is your card, so do what you want. If you think it'll look better smack dab in the middle, then put it smack dab in the middle. If you don't want a rose at all, you don't have to put a rose. It's just, you know, something I wanted to do. I thought it would look pretty. This one I will put a leaf on because I just think it looks better with a leaf. Gives it more character. It's like, yep, this is a rose. Here's a leaf. Now, this is still pretty wet clay, so that's why I'm not scoring or slipping. If you're worried about it falling off, for sure, score and slip. I'm not worried about it. I've done this a few times. So one day it might fall off on me, and when that happens, I'll just I'll just glaze glue it, because yeah, I'm just lazy. Yeah, so doing this, making sure that after I put on all of the outside petals, I go along the back side here and make sure that that side is stuck with a paintbrush, because I want it to stick. I don't want it to fall off. But I don't think it's going to fall off if I don't do this. This is just an extra precaution. So just forming the leaves. Not the leaves, the petals. I am mixing up all my words today. And I'm not too worried about how they look right now, because I'm just going to go in with the paintbrush in a minute and fix how they look. all I'm really concerned about is that they get on there, because I'm trying to make it fast, because if I make it fast, they're more likely to stick better than if I went slow and let it harden, you know? Want to keep it wet, go in, stick it down. So around here, when it gets closer to the middle, I'm just gonna go in and form the petals more. And then if your hands are getting too dry or sticky, just get them wet. You don't want them too wet, but you do want them a bit wet. If you fail a petal, just put it back and get a new one. So I'm going in and doing a curved one here, just because I kind of feel like I want that to be close to the last one. It's a bit too big, so I'm just going to cut off this corner down here. Then I'm just going with this paintbrush and sticking it down. And then if it just gets, this petal got kind of stuck, so I'm just going to go in with this knife, move it. This rose I'm going to have more tilted in towards itself. So it looks, oh, the sun, okay. The sun has decided to come join me today. So now, once you have that, I would go in and add the leaves. So if you want more than one leaf, you can do that. Just go in, make a triangle, stick it there. Making sure it sticks. And then I'm going to go in with one of these rubber tools. This one. And make a vein and smaller veins. Now, you don't have to make your roses like this. You just can if you want to. This is how I make them. If you have another way, great. You can do it that way. It doesn't have to look the same. Yep, so then just go like that. I had to get my towel. Okay, now we have this. Now you can get out your letter stamps. And if you want like flowers, you can do that. Have a bunch of flower cookie cutter stamps. They have an outside, but I didn't want the outside. I just wanted the design part. Now, if you don't want to make your own rose, you can use silicone molds and just put your clay in there and then take it out and put it on. But yeah, what I would do is I would stick on the stamps first so that you know how much room you have for your letter, and then write the letter. Because if you write the letter and then stick on the stamps, a lot of times you'll have a lot of words and not enough room for stamps. So if you don't care about the stamps and you're like, I want to get what I want said first, and then if there's extra room, put on the stamps, you can do that. Because definitely if you have a lot to write, you might not want to put on a bunch of stamps. So you can just choose what you want, push it in, take it out. Now there's a little stamped rose in there. You can use only roses, you can use roses and tulips, you can use whatever. You know, whatever your mom likes. And you can design whatever you want on here. So, rose, tulip, sakura flower. Maybe over here another sakura flower. And then like another rose. And then like half a tulip right there. I don't know. But yeah, so now it looks like this. Let me pick it up to show you. Now it looks like this. The little stamps and everything. Now I'm gonna get a bat. This is a hydro bat. I'm just gonna use it to stick the card on. Make sure this lies flat. And then I'm gonna decide what I want to write. So, I don't know, you could start with Dear Mom, like I did on this other card here. Dear Mom, and then comma, and wrote the message. Or you could do it for like your grandma, if you want to do a grandmother's day present with a card. Or you could do, let's say, your sister or sister-in-law or best friend or whatever, and you want to give them a Mother's Day card, just write their name or dear best friend, or I don't know. Yeah, so once you have the design and stuff on, then I would go in and put on the letters. But again, you can do this the opposite. You can write the letter first and then go in and put the stamps on. I just found it easier for me to do it this way because then I know how much space I am working with. You do one for your grandma. I don't know if I said that already, but I probably did. I will be doing this one for my grandma because I did the other one for my mom. And that one I also did for my mom, but... Oh, no, not that one. That's the new one. I was just about to yoink it off there, but it's not what I want to do. Okay, so now what you can do with this before you start putting stamps on and everything else, I didn't do this part, but if you have deep stamps, you might want to. This is cornstarch. And you just sprinkle it on. Is it cornstarch? It is, right? Yeah. Sorry, I had to double check. It might not have been cornstarch. This is cornstarch. You put it on, and then you take the brush, and you just wipe it on. I'll just show you anyway. And then you just take it and do this. This makes it so that the clay doesn't stick to the stamps. So you can use it, you don't have to use it, but It's your choice. So I'm going to go in, make sure that my letters are kind of straight. And I'm just going to write Grandma. So you can use cursive font, you can use regular font, you can use typewriter, I don't care, whatever one you do. If you want to go in and use the top of this and put in your own handwriting, feel free to do that too. You might have to do a bit of cleanup afterwards, but that's fine. It's your card, do it how you want to do it. Now this is the other card, but it's still a bit too wet, so I'm going to pause this, finish that card, come back, show you that card, and do this card. Okay, I'm back. I got the card to be letter hard now. Finished the other card. This is what that one looks like. Just gonna put this up here to dry. So, on the outside here, I'm just gonna write Mom or Grandma. You can write Mom or Grandma. I think I'll write Grandma. Now that it says Grandma, I'm just gonna flip it over. This is where it gets kind of tricky because it is kind of leather hard. It'll hold itself up, but you also have a limited amount of space here to stick your stamps. Grandma deserves a rose. Stick a rose in the corner over there. And then, my favorite part, you turn it over. Now, you don't want to push too hard with these because you might take out the design on the back. So just be wary of that. If you push too hard, you're going to take out design. So, and then here, on this part, you can write double-sided if you really want to. You might just have to write upside down here. Or you could flip it this way and write it this way so you can have a longer card. You don't have to do that. You can only do like one side if you want. You could use both sides. You could use a fourth of it. If you want to go in and paint something on the top of this card with glazes, you can do that. I'm planning on doing that with that card on the top here because I did a butterfly, and then I'm just going to go in and paint something there. This one's more closed than this one because I had closed it too much. It looks like an A. You want it to look more like an L, so we can, well, like a curved L, like a more curved L, so that it can still hold itself up, but that you have enough to see it and be able to read it and stuff. And then when you're drying it, make sure it dries how you want it to dry, like this, or like this. Then just get an easel, and you can hold it here, and it'll be held up. Yeah, I'm going to do a video on my glazing of these, so